Hello and welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Hello. That's what I'm going to write. Hello. Whew, it's been a very emotional morning for me and my family. And then, I'm looking into the astrology and everything and stuff. So it's kind of nutty. And it's when I look at the astrology and how everything was unfolding this morning, it was very you can say ironic, because especially with this Venus retrograde was about it's a lot of goodbyes. It's about saying goodbye. So there's a lot of things about saying goodbye, letting go. And we were watching the funeral of my brother-in-law in Trinidad this morning, and so it was a little bit, when you see the body, it's real, that kind of thing. Like when somebody passes away, and of course you're remorseful and you're feeling sad. But once you start to watch the funeral, and it was broadcast from Trinidad, it makes it real. It makes it real. And you start to see it. And then you start to see how how in a time of suffering, in a time when you really need family, you can't really have everybody around. So only 5 people were allowed in the church. Some people were on the outside, and not a lot of people were, some people drove by honking and stuff and paying their respects. But it was very difficult to, when you have that closeness, or you want that closeness, you can't necessarily have it. So my sister-in-law was at one side, and her daughter was over here, and her son was, because they all had a social distance in the church, they couldn't sit all together. So I thought that was kind of odd. But and in Trinidad, gatherings are, I guess, not more than 5. So it really, when you see that, well, at least that what was in the church, I don't know if it's outside, because going into the graveyard, it was a lot. There's a few more people around, but then they're outside, so people could move around a little bit more. So it was interesting to watch, and it really made it real when somebody passes, and you get to see that. And I was doing the astrology, and with the astrology, it was a lot of goodbyes, a lot of extreme goodbyes. It's a wake up for us right now, and a wake up in. I said this. We're coming into extremes this weekend, and we're seeing it. We're seeing it all over. We're seeing it throughout the United States and in other places throughout the world. We're seeing disruptions happening as we speak. And this is where, with that point in Sag and that South Node, this is our beliefs, our opinions. This is the world. This is intense. And this is pressure, right? This is pressure that's coming in. Thank you, everybody, for the condolences. Thank you for sending up blessings. And this is where people are getting riled up with your beliefs. People are getting this is my belief, and they're getting very riled up. And it's coming where, if you're wanting to make a better life, and this is where that point in Sag is, you're wanting to make a better life. You got to clean up your own yard. You can't just say, it's like, I want to have a better life. I want to do better, but I'm still eating garbage. I want to get, it's like, in my journey club, one of the things that I say is, like, you want to be a fitness instructor, but you're still going to McDonald's, or you want to be the CEO to a company, but you're still partying every night and showing up late to work. You can't have one and expect a different result, right? You can't expect doing the same thing and still expect something different to happen. And this is where, if you're wanting, and especially if you're wanting to make changes, this is why with that North Node in Gemini, that's where your changes happen. Your happens in Gemini. It happens in that mutability. It allows you that flexibility to move into and do something differently. And we have those two stars, the Aldebaran and Taurus. And Taurus is it's huge. It's bigger than the sun. And it's red. And it's known as, the dark star. It's known as this star that, that is bringing in death and destruction, right? It is known as the devil's star. And its opposite, Aldebaran, which is the keeper of the east, which is Archangel Michael. He is the one of the east. He's the gatekeeper of the east. And he is the protector of the seven sisters in the Pleiadian. He watches over. So we have these two, and they're very warrior, right? Archangel Michael is that. He is the one that he blesses the policemen, and he watches over the people, the border and the army, and that he watches over them. He is the gatekeeper to keeping the peace. And he's looking across, and here it is, and here's this energy that's coming in. And we're starting to see this intensity that's building. But the other part is like there's dark and light. The plate, where do you want to go? And what do you want to build within your own life? There's a lot of delusion out there. Neptune is there. It's like saying delusion, dream, or reality. What do you want? What do you want to do? You want to stay in the delusion and the craziness? Or do you want to, bring in something new? This is serious relationship stuff. And we got a lot of energy that's coming in to get us to look. And this is like next week. Oh, fuck. Next week is going to be crazy. We have a lunar eclipse coming up next week. We got some intensity coming up next week, even more so. And that's squaring off Mars. So it's bringing in even more craziness and more energy. So with all of this, and yes, there is peace out there, right? So it's I know every week, but it's intensifying every week. Like we're going in intensity each week as we go forth. And remember, with the intensity, as things you think it's going to explode, or this is an explosion. It hasn't exploded yet. It hasn't come to that climax of releasement. It hasn't happened yet. We're waiting on it. It's building of it. So it's saying, if to make your life more beautiful, more calm, more peaceful, you got to do a lot of whatever it is that you need to say goodbye to, and really look at those goodbyes to release them, because this is looking into your beliefs and to change your beliefs of self. And with that sun at 9-10 degrees, and what is opposite in Sagittarius is at Taurus. Is coming right in between where Venus retrograde is and where the sun is. And when the sun moves, the sun is going to come right into that alignment with that. And this is bringing in, and this energy is bringing in expansion. And with the north nodes there, it is getting us to even look at things even more of the change, more of what it is. And with immutable grand cross and trine, it's coming. It's like, come on, let's go. Let's make this, let's get this happening. And this is looking where we need to look at with this energy, rivaling Mars. So we got this energy. We have this energy that wants us to create something more beautiful for ourselves, to allow us to look into things. And it's warlike, because many times when we go into our internal core, it is a war. It is a war to look at us more internally. It is a war that we have to look at and look at that intensity within ourselves, because many times we don't want to. We don't want to look at that. And with that moon squaring Saturn, which is going to be coming up, especially with the moon going into Virgo and then into Libra on Sunday. We're in Virgo right now and then goes into Libra on Sunday. It gets really crazy because it's starting to square off where before Jupiter was saying, here you go. Let's get things going. Let's start planting our seeds. Let's going. And if you already started that, then you're not going to be, you're going to be on the road of saying, yeah, I can get this. This is doing, okay, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm taking the steps. I'm able to embrace my emotions and the transformation and the changes that are happening in my life instead of sitting there and wallowing and allowing myself to go down the deep end. This is where I'm coming in, and I need to look at when the moon comes into Libra on Sunday that I can chill. I don't have to get all riled up with all the other craziness. I can come in, I can say, yeah, this is where I am. I'm happy with my relationships. I'm happy with the way that the way I am creating the world around me and bringing in that peace. And that's where this is coming in. The square with Mercury, it's, the Mercury, the moon and Mercury are the tiniest yet the fastest planet. They're the ones that are, you're going along your road and they'll come in and they'll be like, oh, do I go here? But it's only a speck in your eye. Just keep on going. So this is for us to keep on going. Let us go. Because by Sunday evening, it's going to be starting to feeling a little bit weirder because we have the moon. We'll be going into Scorpio. And it's going to be starting to head into Scorpio. And we have Lilith there. And Lilith can be destructive. She can be passionate too, but she can, it's not waiting for things. She's not a goddess that waits for things. She will make the movements to get things and go and create what it is that she wants to create. And with the fixed stars squaring Mars, you're going to see that intensity on the outside. So when you go into in the internal, it's coming into your own peace, your own guidance, and your own love. And that's the importance of it all. You can just put it, right on top. Thank you. So there's a lot of energy. I'm not going to spend too much time on here today. So because my husband and I are going to go for a drive and just take a drive around. But there's a lot of extreme energy. It is a wake up. It is a time and I found it funny when I was listening to, and just with that Venus, it is a lot of work, but it is a time to say a lot of goodbyes to things. And I was, kind of correlated with saying goodbye to my brother-in-law today and saying goodbye to him. I only actually met him once when he came to Canada. Never really, in the 30 years being married, I haven't been to Trinidad to meet the rest of my husband's family. So it seems kind of odd that we have created our life up here, our life together. And we both have other worlds that we haven't really dipped into that are around us. And that is something I think him and I we're going to have to look at and start working on, because those other worlds are parts where we need to start looking into. And I think with this energy that just came in and is kind of like a wake up of saying what is important in your life, because life is short. We would love to live here 1,000 years. If it was 1,000 years, it'd be a whole lot different. But with transformation and changes that are coming in, how are we able to structure our lives in a way that is bringing us the grace and the peace? And that's important in where you are now. And that's what you got to look at. Look at your space on where you are now. You may not be able to go out to where you want to go. Like if you want to leave the country or go into another country at this time, we just can't do it. But we can bring in the love and the grace that we can within our lives where we are now, and allowing ourselves to step into it and step into the sorrow of that releasement of the 5 of Cups, So that sorrow comes in, and it shows us that we have to let those cups go. We got to let that water out. We got to allow it to go out. That means that we got to allow those and shed those tears in order for us to renew that cup and bring in the fulfillment. To know that when you see the Three of Swords, and when it's reversed, the Three of Swords shows us that, yeah, we've gone through a lot of craziness and destruction within our own lives within the last, not only little while, but last couple of years, that anything that is coming forward for us now, we're able to head still continually onto that light and bring in that positive energy, bring in that peace that we need. And the beautiful part is the Queen of Cups for us. The Queen of Cups comes in with her passion and understanding, and wanting us to really feel our passion, feel our intuition, feel our emotions. And I know I've been saying this for a long time for everybody, is that you got to feel your emotions. Why? Because your emotions are going to help you to transcend into another way. It's going to bring in the positivity and the beauty. If you're not coming into the transcending into this beautiful energy of yourself, then you're going to find yourself in that destruction, in wallowing in that a lot of pain, and unable to really lift yourself up the way you want. It's going to be more of a struggle for you. And it's going to be harder for you to be able to do that. Because when you do, the Empress comes in. The bounty comes in. It's there. It may not seem like it with all the craziness out there, but it's there. It's for you to open your arms and allow yourself to come into it. Allow yourself to say, this is what I need to say goodbye to, and I'm going to step forward in it, and I'm going to embrace it, and I'm going to become in alignment with what I need to come into alignment with, so I can make the transformation and changes in my life that are needed. Have a blessed day, everybody. And have a fabulous day. And someone just asked me, oh, Scorpio. Hello, Mr. Scorpio or Mrs. Scorpio. Not too sure. But do you have children? Yes, I have 4 children. I have 4 kids and a grandson. And I have many other children around the globe that are all a part of my tribe. So, blessed be, everyone. And sending you out so much love. May the Lord and the Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you and all you say and all that you do and all that you be. Never let your light be snuffed out. Always let your light shine. Stand in your power, stand in your strength of who you are and who you want to be. Blessed be everybody. Bye-bye.